Welcome to the Dark Verse channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. I was 8 when I first saw her. Not in a dream. Not in a nightmare. In my room. By the closet. Watching. She didn't move. She didn't speak. She just stared. And I froze. I thought it was a dream. It had to be. Because little girls don't appear in your closet at night. They don't wear white gowns with muddy feet. They don't smile like that. But she did. I screamed. My mom ran in. She turned on the lights. She checked the closet. There was nothing. She told me to stop imagining things. She tucked me in, turned off the light, kissed my forehead, and left. But I couldn't sleep because I felt it again. Eyes on me, heavy, cold, watching. I turned my head slowly. She was still there, smiling, closer now, almost at the foot of my bed. I didn't scream this time. I couldn't. My voice was gone, trapped in my throat. She tilted her head and said it. My name, whispered it like it was hers, like she owned it. Daniel, soft, sweet, wrong. I covered my ears, shut my eyes, and cried myself to sleep. The next morning, I checked the closet. Nothing, but muddy footprints led to my bed. Tiny ones, too small to be mine, too real to be fake. I told my mom again. She blamed the dog. We didn't have one. That night, I didn't want to sleep, but I did. And she came again. Same place. Same smile. Same whisper. Daniel. Like a lullaby you don't want to hear. Like a threat dressed as a song. I stopped sleeping. Pretended I was sick. Begged to sleep in Mom's bed. She let me. But the next night, I had to go back. Alone. And she was waiting. She never blinked. Never moved much. Just stood. Watched. Whispered. Daniel. Over and over. Like a ritual. Like she was carving it into my soul. One night, I asked her, "What do you want?" She didn't answer. But she smiled wider. Teeth too many. Too sharp. Too wrong. And said, "You." Just that. One word. Enough to freeze me. I wet the bed that night. Didn't care. Didn't sleep. Just stared at her until morning. She faded with the light. Always did. The sun scared her, but not enough. She always came back. Every night. Every whisper. Wearing my name like it was hers. By age 9, I learned to live with her. She never hurt me. Not physically, but my mind. It wasn't mine anymore. It was hers. She lived in the cracks, behind doors, inside mirrors, underneath my skin. I stopped telling people. No one believed me. Not my mom, not my teacher, not even my priest. They said I needed sleep, medicine, prayer, but I needed her gone. She was patient. Every night, she stood there, sometimes closer, sometimes right next to me, whispering, Daniel, like a mother calling her child, like a lover in the dark. One night I asked her, "What are you?" She said nothing, just stared, then reached for me, fingers pale, thin, bone-like. I ran, screamed, collapsed into my hallway. My mom rushed out, held me, shook me. But the room was empty. No muddy footprints this time. No sign she was ever there. Except for one thing. On the mirror, written in fog, one word, mine. They sent me to therapy. Told me it was trauma. Said maybe it was. The divorce. Maybe the loneliness. Maybe stress. But I knew better. It wasn't in my head. She was real. Real and waiting. Every night. Same routine. She appeared, spoke my name, watched me, sometimes smiling, sometimes crying, once laughing, a low, broken laugh, like glass shattering inside her throat. When I turned 10, I moved rooms, switched sides of the house. No closet, no mirrors, nothing familiar. I thought I was safe. I thought I was free. First night, she didn't come, nor the second. I almost believed it. I almost breathed again, until the third night. I woke to her humming, under my bed, humming my name, Daniel, over and over. A melody of madness. I didn't check. I couldn't. I just cried, froze, waited for morning. And she stopped. In the morning, I checked. Nothing under the bed, but on the wall, claw marks. 4 long scratches. Fresh, deep, and bloody. My mom finally saw them. She cried, called the police. They found nothing. No intruder, no prints, number, explanation. I didn't sleep for 3 nights. On the 4th, I collapsed, and she returned. Stronger now, closer. She whispered again, but this time, she said more. Daniel, I know you. I whispered back. I don't want to know you. She grinned. Too late? I begged her. Please stop. She shook her head. I waited too long. I screamed, why me? And she whispered, you said my name first. I didn't remember saying her name, not once, but she insisted. You called me, she said. When? I asked. She only smiled. I went through old memories, photos, videos, drawings I made as a kid. In one, I saw her, barely, in the corner of a picture. White gown, dark eyes, smiling. It was my 5th birthday. She was already there. I just hadn't seen her. That night, she sat on my bed. First time she moved that close. She touched my hand, cold, heavy, like stone soaked in ice. I pulled away, but her grip tightened. You're not dreaming, she said. Stop pretending. I cried. I was tired of pretending. I asked her what she wanted. She said, to be remembered. I asked who she was. She said, you already know. Then she vanished, like smoke in wind. Gone before the light came. But the smell stayed. Rotten flowers, wet soil, dust and old dolls. The next day I asked my mom, did I have a sister? She froze. Tears filled her eyes. She said no. But something in her face said yes. That night I asked the ghost, were you my sister? She didn't answer. She just laughed a long wheezing laugh and whispered, I could have been. Then she vanished again. My grades dropped. Friends left. I became the weird kid, the quiet one. Always tired, always scared. I tried burning her drawing. It wouldn't burn. I threw it out. It came back on my wall, inside my drawer, folded inside my school books. She was always watching. Never far, never gone. One day I tried to run, packed a bag, left home, didn't tell anyone, walked for hours. But as night came, I felt her again, closer, heavier. And when I looked behind me, she was following. No footsteps, no sound, just gliding, slow, grinning, bare feet scraping the concrete. I screamed, ran faster. Cars passed. No one helped. I turned down a street. She was in front of me, waiting, arms open. I collapsed, passed out cold, woke up in a hospital. They said I had a breakdown, exhaustion, delirium. My mom sat beside me, eyes swollen, silent. She finally spoke. There was a girl, she said. I didn't want to tell you. She died before you were born. We lost her early. Her name was Danielle. The blood drained from my face. I felt cold, like she had touched me again. Danielle, Daniel, 2 halves of something broken. Asterisk my twin. A sister I never knew. A secret buried, but not deep enough. She came back, because I never called her by name. But she knew mine. My mom said she was stillborn. Never cried. Never opened her eyes. They buried her the next day. No photos. No grave I ever saw. But something wasn't right. I asked, where is she buried? My mom wouldn't say. She just looked away. Tears in her eyes. And guilt. So much guilt. That night, Danielle stood by the window. Different now. Older. Like she was growing with me. She stared outside. Then whispered, he lied too. Who? I asked. She vanished. I went to my father's old room. He died when I was 6. A box under his bed held answers. Old letters. Ultrasounds. 2 heartbeats. One name scratched out. Danielle. They erased her. Pretended she never happened. But she remembered. And she waited. For me. One letter stood out. Dated before I was born. Only one child survives, it said. Signed by a midwife. Scribbled over with ink. But Danielle had survived something. Some part of her. Angry. Alone. Unspoken. I went to the old house where I was born. Long abandoned. Rotting. But familiar. I entered my old nursery. The walls cracked. Paint peeled. And in the dust, her name. Scratched over and over. Danielle. 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 She was there. Behind the crib. Watching. Older now. Eyes full of storm. Hair long and wild. Dress black instead of white. You came back, she said. I had to, I replied. You're ready now, she whispered. For what? To remember. The walls shook. The floor bent. I saw it, a memory I never lived. A baby crying. Another, not moving. A scream, a choice. And silence. She showed me everything, the moment I lived. And she didn't, the moment they gave me a name. And buried hers. I fell to my knees. I'm sorry, I cried. She knelt too, touched my face. I don't hate you, she said, but I can't go back. I was never named. You can take it, I whispered. She smiled, eyes soft now. A little girl again. In the end, she said, we were never meant to be apart. And she vanished. Not like before, not like smoke, but like a soul finally resting. The room was still. Light came in, and for the first time in years, I slept, deep, quiet, alone until I woke to a whisper. Daniel. Faint, but clear. Asterisk at first, I thought it was a dream. Just a whisper from memory. A voice I wanted to forget, but couldn't. Then I heard it again, clearer, louder, right behind me. Daniel. I turned. No one there. Just my reflection in the mirror. But something was off. It blinked. Before I did, I stepped closer, my heart pounding. The reflection smiled. But I didn't. It mouthed something. I leaned in. She knows your name. And then it cracked. A long spiderweb of broken glass, splitting my face in half. I stepped back, trembling, breathing heavy. She's gone, I whispered, but the air disagreed. It was heavy again, cold again, and the lights flickered. The house groaned, and I heard her laughter, soft and louder, until it filled the room. She never left, not really. She was part of me, the half they buried, the name they erased. But names don't die. They wait, they rot, they remember. I moved. Out, new city, new life. But she followed, not always seen, but felt.